I am Jen Wilson from IamJenWilson.com. I'm here to take you through this short yoga practice. I'm also going to incorporate some grounding, settling in, coming into your body, which is a really useful tool when your mind starts getting a bit all over the place. And I'll take you into a meditation so that when you're going through this practice and we get to that meditation point, you can stay there for as long as you want. If you've got things that you need to get on with, then you can stay there for about 10 breaths and then slowly bring yourself up to a seated position, take yourself off into the day. But if you've got time to be there for longer, then I would always encourage you and invite you to stay there for as long as you can. And you're really going to get the benefits of it. So to start with, bring yourself into a comfortable seated position. Now that seated position could be down on the floor like I'm sitting. If you've got anything going on at your hips or your lower back, you might be better sitting on a cushion so that your hips are a little bit higher. That's one of the reasons that I sit on my shins. Or it might be better for you to sit in a chair. Any of these are absolutely appropriate, but what I'm looking for is for you to have contact with the floor, whether that's your backside, your shins, the soles of your feet, and your spine to be tall. And we're going to let the back of the hands rest onto your lap. Now, if you've got a really long body and quite short arms, which some people have, you might want to set a cushion on your lap just so that your hands can be a little bit higher than that. Some people get really burny shoulders when they're sitting in this position. So if that's an easy fix, if that's an issue that you have. Then if you're okay to close your eyes, and if you're not, just let your gaze drop down to the floor. And all we're doing here is removing the visual distractions. It's not essential to close your eyes, but it is beneficial if you can, and it just allows you to hear into your body without the distractions of sight. We're going to take 2 breaths where I'm going to invite you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Sighing the breath out. And then, as long as it's okay for you to breathe in and out through your nose, come into a nasal breath. So as you're breathing in and out through your nose, it allows the breath to go deep into your body. Breathing through the nose allows the air to be filtered and cleaned as it comes in. It allows the air to be warmed and moisturised as it hits the lungs. It also slows down the pace of the breath. And when we can breathe in a slow and steady pace, it sends a signal to our nervous system to let the nervous system know that we don't need to be on high alert here, that we can be in this rest and recover space. We can bring some relaxation or calm into our bodies and into our minds. And notice as you're taking those breaths, the parts of your body that the breath moves to. So the air itself will only ever move into your lungs, which sit towards the back of your body and your rib cage. But the energy of the breath can move to any part of your body at all. You can send it down to the soles of the feet, right up through the crown of the head, and all the way down and out through the fingertips. So wherever needs your breath to go to and needs the energy of that breath, send your breath there. And as you're doing that, notice how easy or how challenging that is. And if you are finding any resistance or anything does feel challenging, just note that with interest and curiosity. When we go through a yoga practice, it's never about judgment or being able to do certain shapes or get ourselves tangled up in knots while standing on one toe. It's about being able to check in with ourselves, check in with the breath, check in with the position that we're in our body, and ask ourselves, does this feel comfortable and right for me today? And at any point it doesn't feel comfortable or right, you can stop. We're going to bring our thumb and our index finger together and just let the fingertips touch against each other. And take a full round of breath here. Nice deep breath in, slow breath out. And after you've finished that exhale, move your thumb onto your middle finger and stay here for a full round of breath. And then move your thumb onto the ring finger. So you're doing this at your own pace. Doesn't matter if I'm going faster or slower than you. But after your exhale, just move your thumb onto the next finger. And then when you're ready to go work your way through those fingers again, so coming back to the index finger, you're just following the breath in, following the breath out, and moving your thumb onto the next finger. And as your fingertips touch, become aware of any sensation, any texture, any temperature, anything at all that you can feel. And if for any reason this doesn't feel comfortable for you, or it feels distracting, then you don't need to do it. We can let this part of the practice go. Some people find this part of the practice really useful, really centering, really grounding, and other people don't. So whatever your experience is, and this can change from day to day, whatever your experience is completely yours. And you can either take it on or let it go. And if you forget to move your fingers, it doesn't matter. Or if you move in the middle of a breath, it doesn't matter. If you forget at all to move the fingers, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter which finger you're on just now. When you've finished your next breath, let the hands relax and just start to wiggle the fingers out. If you want to open your eyes at this time, you can, or if you want to keep your eyes closed, you're also welcome to. Make a fist, squeeze the fingers in as tight as you can, and then spread the fingers out as wide as you can. Make a fist and spread the fingers. Make a fist and spread the fingers. Circle off the wrists. And then start to bend and straighten the arms as you're doing that. And then start to make circles at the shoulders. So this movement, as big or as small as feels good for you. And notice are your shoulders clunky and clicky, and if they are, maybe you do one side at a time. Oh, crunching, crunching, clicking, click. And maybe you don't have a lot of range of movement, or maybe one side is much more mobile than the other. These things, again, we just note these things with curiosity, never with judgment. We'll let the hands come down. Rub the hands together. So we're rubbing the hands together to get some friction in there, create some heat in the hands. And then we're going to bring our fingertips up and start to stroke across the forehead. So if you imagine that you are stroking away your thoughts, maybe you shake them off. You stroke away the thoughts and shake them off. Any negativity, any worries, any anger, any judgment. Anything that you find yourself getting caught up in, just let it go. And we're just helping that go. And then let the hands come down. Turn your head to look over one shoulder. Slowly turning through the centre, look over the other shoulder. Through the centre, turning the head. And one more time through the centre, turning the head. Bring it back. Let the chin come down to the chest. So the weight of the head is just tilting forwards. Lifting the chin, open the throat. Bringing the chin back down. Lifting the chin one more time. Bringing it back to centre. Tilt the head over to one side. So we're getting this length through the side of the neck. Bringing the head up, go to the other side. Bringing the head up, taking it over. And bringing the head up and taking it over. bringing that back to the centre. We're going to bring our arms up into cactus. Keeping the elbow in line with the shoulder. If that's uncomfortable or painful in your shoulder for any reason, keep your elbow a little bit lower. We're going to think about turning from the breastbone and rotate to one side. Bring that back through the centre and rotate to the other side. Bring it through the centre and rotate. And then through the centre and rotate. This time we're going to turn and we're going to let the hands come down. Take your hands across the body, other hands coming behind. So I'm just going to turn around quickly. I've got my hands coming across my lower back towards this opposite hip. If you can't reach to the opposite hip, just let your hands come to wherever you can reach to. We're just using it as an anchor to help give us some more rotation. Bring it through the centre and go to the other side. Through the centre and turn. And through the centre and turn. Bring it back into the centre. We're going to go into a little bit of side bend here. So reach the fingers down towards the floor, and it doesn't matter if you're in a chair and your hands are nowhere near the floor, you're just sending the energy of the arms down, tall through the spine. Reach one arm up, and then keeping both your butt cheeks down, we're going to start to lean over. So if you're near the floor, you can let the fingertips rest on the floor, and if you're not, and if you feel like you're going to fall, hold on to the edge of your chair. But you're keeping this hip pressing down, so we're getting length all the way down this side. Bring that back up. Both arms pushing down. Reach the other arm up. Take this over to the other side. Bring that back up. Reach up. Take it over. Check you're not holding your breath as you do this. Bring it up. Let the arm come down. Other side coming up. And reach it over. And bring that back up to centre. Now from here we're going to come over onto our hands and knees. If for any reason being on your hands and knees is not comfortable for you or not suitable, you can go and stand at a wall so that you can rest your hands onto the wall, or you can have a chair in front of you and let your hands rest onto a chair. If you're okay being on your hands and knees, wrists roughly underneath your shoulders, it should feel comfortable to have your hands here. You could always be on your knuckles if there's anything going on at the wrists. And then your knees roughly hip width. I'm going to extend one leg out behind. Push the heel and then see if you can lift that leg up off the floor. Make sure you're not holding your breath here, let that knee float all the way down. And then extend the other leg out, push the heel away and then lift that leg up. Let it come down. Go to the first sides. Now check where your head's at. If you're looking back towards your knees, as interesting as they are, bring your head up so that you're looking just beyond the fingertips. Bring that knee down, switch it to the other side. Push through that heel as you lift the leg. Bring it back down, go to the first side, extend that leg out, and then see if you can reach the opposite arm away. So if your right leg's up, it'll be your left arm that's lifting. So if you're trying to lift both sides at the same time, you might be falling over. Let that come all the way down. Extend the other leg out. And then maybe bringing the arm up. Now the arm part is optional, so if you're really struggling with it, please don't worry. Over time it will come. And then let that come down. To the first side, we'll do this one more time to each side. If you can, opposite arm and leg. Let it come back down, make sure you're not holding your breath, switch to the other side last time. Let that come down. If child's pose feels like a comfortable place for you to be, let the hips go back, take the knees wide, let the elbows and the forehead come towards the floor, and if your forehead is nowhere near the floor, stack the fists, let the forehead rest on your hands. Take 2 big deep breaths in and out here. Now we're going to come up to standing. Options here to come up to standing. We can either come through down dog, so we'll let the hand rest on the floor, we'll tuck the toes under, we'll send the hips up, we'll walk the feet towards the hands, or You walk your hands back, step 1 foot forward, press the foot into the floor and bring yourself up. Either of those two options are completely appropriate. We're going to have our feet underneath the hips. Stand tall through the crown of the head, hands into heart centre if this is comfortable for you. If it's not, let your hands come down to the sides, no problem, whichever works better. We're going to turn one foot slightly out and step your other foot forward just in a short stride. Have this front knee slightly bent. Press the tips of the toes down into the floor, that's going to help with your balance. We're going to reach the hands up, looking up towards the ceiling. And we're going to keep this reach as we start to lean forward. But don't hold your breath here now, depending on what's going on at your lower back and across your hips and in your hamstrings, down the back of the thighs. You might bring your hands onto the thigh and stay here, or you might keep reaching and come towards the floor. Now if your fingertips are just touching the floor, slightly bend both the knees and that's going to let you get a bit more comfortable. Relax your neck at the bottom and take a couple of deep breaths in and out here. Press the feet into the floor wherever you are. Take your reach, come all the way up. Let the hands come into heart centre. Step that front foot back, turn the foot. So if you're not happy with hands in heart centre, you can bring your hands down to the side, it's purely optional. Other foot slightly turned out. Step your other foot forward. Oh, I found a creaky floorboard. Shimmy back, out of that. So slight bend in the knee. Standing tall. Reach the arms up. So think about being long. This is going to help engage the muscles without you having to even think about it. Now we're on the other leg, so as we start to come forwards, depending on what's going on in the back of this leg, you might come to the thigh or you might get to the floor. And it doesn't matter what you did on the other side, do what feels good on this side. Relax your neck, relax your arms and shoulders at the bottom. Press the feet in, come all the way up. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Whew. Bring your hands either to heart centre or down to the sides. We're going to switch sides again. So we're going to do that one more time to each side. So we switch sides, slight bend in the knee, reaching the arms up. Reach as we come forward. Go to whatever range feels nice, either the thigh or the floor, doesn't matter. Couple of deep breaths, trying to use your exhale to relax into this space. Press the feet in, come all the way up. Bring the arm, hands back down, step the front foot in, last time switching. Let that front knee be bent. Found that creaky floorboard again. Take the arms up, reach and fold forwards. And hands go to wherever feels comfortable. Relax the neck. Nice easy breath. Press the feet in. Make your way back up. Reach those hands. Bring yourself back. So feet in underneath the hips, hands either down to the sides or in heart centre. Stand tall through the crown of the head. If you're okay to close your eyes for a couple of breaths. If not, just let your gaze drop to the floor. Take a big deep breath in, slow breath out. Big deep breath in, slow breath out. We're going to make our way down onto the floor again. I'm going to invite you to try and come down to the floor without using your hands to balance. So trying to maybe come down through your knee and make your way here. If you feel like you are going to fall, please use your hands, catch yourself, do not fall and hurt yourself. But it's important to notice whether you're using your hands to help you get up and down off the floor. If you are, it means we're not utilising the legs in the backside as much as we could do. So with a bit of practice of getting up and down from the floor without using our hands, we are going to gradually get stronger at it. And some days it's easier than others, so don't beat yourself up. Now we're going to go into our meditation. So you can either come to a seated position, and you could use the same seated position as you had at the start of practice, or you might feel comfortable to sit in a different way, or you can come down to lying on the floor. If you're lying on the floor, you have options here. You can either, if you get anything going on in your lower back, take the feet wider than the hips, let the knees rest against each other. That'll take the pressure off your lower back. If you've not got anything going on at your lower back, lengthen the legs out, find that kiki field road again. Take the feet wider than the hips, let the toes flop out to the side. Your hands can either be away from the body with the palms faced up, or you can let the hands rest onto your body to make this more internalised. Eyes can be closed, eyes can be open. If I've got time, and I should have said this before we lay down, you could have a blanket, pull a blanket over you. If you're short of time and you're only going to be here for a few minutes, then maybe a blanket is not necessary. Lying down is purely optional. It's my favourite place to be for my meditation. If lying down doesn't feel right for you, then being in a seat, either sitting on the floor or sitting in a chair, is completely appropriate. And your hand position could be the same as it was at the start, back of the hand resting on the floor with the palms face up, or you could bring your hands onto your body and let one hand be on the tummy, one hand be on the chest around the area of the heart. So totally up to you what you do. So either eyes closed or gaze softened to rest either on the floor or on the wall or out the window if you can see out a window. And taking 2 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, the same as we did right at the start of the practice. So we can sigh that energy out. And then bring your breath back to breathing in and out through the nose if that's possible. And I just want you to check in with your body. However you're resting here, whether it's seated or lying down. Notice the parts of your body that are in contact with whatever surface you're resting on. Notice your energy. Notice your breath. Notice your thoughts. And I'm going to invite you at this time to take a moment to give yourself some thanks. Give yourself some gratitude for making the time and giving yourself the space to do this yoga practice. And then I'm going to invite you to set a positive intention or goal. And it's something that you wish to come true in your life. It may be some sort of affirmation, but setting it in a short, positive statement and repeating it to yourself 3 times. So some examples I like to give are, I am calm, I am healing, or I am powerful, or whatever it is that you want to bring into your life. But decide on something and repeat it to yourself 3 times, whatever it is that you feel drawn to. And it doesn't matter how big or how small it is. And then I'm going to invite you to stay here with your breath. Just following the breath in and out of your body. And if you notice that your mind starts to wander, which it probably will, just notice that your mind's wandered and then bring your attention back to your breath. And every time the mind starts to wander, bring your attention back to your breath. And the more we practice this, the calmer and quieter the mind will become over time. But just noticing the thoughts and bringing yourself back. And noticing the thoughts and bringing yourself back. So at this point, I'm going to leave you here to either stay with your breath for another few rounds of breath, or to stay here for as long as you can or as long as you need. And remember that when you do come into your day, we move back into our day nice and slowly. We bring with it this sense of peace and calm that we've cultivated in this really short yoga practice. And we can tap into this energy at any point because it's there within you.